Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you to Seminole County Fire Department's Class 2402 graduation ceremony. Please stand as our recruit class enters in. The class leader, Eric Seidelman, will place the class guidon on the stage. This will be followed by our honor guard's presentation of colors. Firefighter Rose Gardner will then sing the national anthem, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Eric Seidelman. And he really hopes you guys will participate in that too. Our chaplain, Kevin Matlock, who was a former firefighter with us, will then give welcome remarks.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Yeah, follow that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all.
Right, let's do it. All right, you may be seated.
Well, good afternoon. On behalf of Cross Life Church, we want to welcome each and every one of you here today. It's our privilege to have the graduates here celebrating such a momentous time for them, I know. And on behalf of the chaplains for the Seminole County Fire Department, we'd like to welcome you. Aaron Ott is here today, Father Aaron Ott, and we have Pastor Eddie Rivera of Action Church, who isn't with us today, but all three of us are your chaplains. And we look forward to getting to know you a little better in the months and the years ahead. We want to congratulate you. I know that it was no small feat to get through everything that you've endured, but just know that the fun's just beginning. And so as you hit the ground running on whatever shift you're going on, we just want you to know that not only have we been praying for you, but we continue to pray for you all as you go through the fire service. And we want you to know that we have an open door for each and every one of you. As somebody who's been a firefighter, I can tell you're going to have some difficult days and nights. And whether it's on the job or whether it's even with your family, we want you to know that you can call on us anytime. We're there for you, and we would love to talk with you sometime and help you through anything that you may have that comes up, okay? So on that note, congratulations once again, and everybody have a great afternoon here celebrating you all.
I said I wouldn't forget my notes, but first chance I did, so good thing it's still here. Thank you very much, Chap, and to Cross Life for graciously hosting this graduation. Guests in the audience today, these include Seminole County Commissioner and Chairman Jay Zembauer. There you are, thank you. Past Scfd Fire Chief Terry Shank. Assistant Medical Director Mark Wexler. Wex. Director of Human Resources at Seminole County Government, Christina Brandolini. And just like Chap said, I'd like to recognize our other chaplains, Father Aaron Ott from St. Albans Angelical Church in Oviedo in the audience, as well as, well, Pastor Eddie is not here, but again, thank you for Action Church and Pastor Eddie in the past. And then, of course, past chaplain Chris Whaley. We do have a retiree in the audience, former battalion chief, Chief Hitchcock. And we also have two special four-legged friends in the audience today. We got Winston and Recon, two of our department's pet therapy dogs. Winston's mom, Erin, is here from Chiliota, and Recon is accompanied by his dad, Will Hall, who is our EMS liaison at Advent Health. There they are. All right. Before we get started anymore, I'd like to recognize all active and veteran U.S. military service members. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your sacrifice and service. Well, Josh, get on up there. Awesome, thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge all of the active and retired first responders in the audience. Please stand to be recognized for your service to our communities. All right. My name is Gene Van Etten, and I serve as a Battalion Chief of Professional Standards and Training. And it is no surprise in the fire department, I was voluntold to MC graduation for the second time. Yep, and as you know, as the saying goes, the third time is the charm, so I'm hoping to be quite charming in the next graduation. I have proudly served in the fire service for almost 23 years and reside here in Seminole County. For the past 17 years, I have taught special ops and fire standards at Valencia College. So being at our training center and helping recruits is a privilege and a passion of mine. One of the biggest things about our fire department is our commitment to training and safety, which serves our citizens. We train to maintain a constant state of readiness. Our recruits will continue their training well after they enter the field. And for those veterans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We never stop. We have tri-annual trainings, emergency service classes, specialized training for our tower and special hazards and operation teams. Training and learning is in our DNA throughout our careers. We don't train until we get it right. We train until we can't get it wrong. For those of you who are new to Seminole County Fire Department, we were established on October 1st, 1974. Yes, that's right. And we just celebrated our 50th anniversary this year. So that's kind of a big deal. We pride ourselves on being an experienced, aggressive, progressive, and growing department. This provides us with lots of opportunities. This afternoon, we recognize Class 2402 as the 16 newest members of our fire family who will proudly serve Seminole County citizens. Seminole County citizens. To share some of our history and introduce our keynote speaker, I now have the pleasure to introduce our fire chief, Matt Kinley.
You didn't leave any of your stuff, right? I don't want to mess you up. Before I get started, I happened to see him walk in, somebody who's been a supporter of this department for 2 decades, Commissioner Bob Delary. So good afternoon, Class 2402. Welcome to an outstanding fire department and one of the most honorable, noble, and selfless professions. You're graduating during a special milestone in our long history, our 50th year anniversary. For the past 50 years, this department has existed for one simple reason: to serve our community in their time of greatest need. I'm proud of the history and the heart that defines our department, but it's also built on a foundation of blood, sweat, and tears. The department was founded at midnight on October 1st, 1974 by Fire Chief Gary Kaiser and the commission at that time, and was faced with enormous challenges, from recruiting, training personnel, securing apparatus, legal approvals, equipment, and creating operational documents. With just 30 days to bring this all together, Chief Kaiser, Assistant Chief Don Harkins, and yes, he's still here, and Assistant Chief Bill Kinley worked tirelessly. Back then, fire stations operated out of rented motel rooms, and funding for apparatus was scarce. They improvised using World War II vehicles called SCAT units, retrofitted with 250-gallon water tanks, much like our woods trucks today. Skeptics thought they were crazy, but it worked, proving that necessity is the mother of invention. At our founding, we had 19 firefighters working out of 9 two-person stations, 5 of which operated from former volunteer district stations. Our insurance services rating, our ISO rating, was 9 due to an inadequate water supply, and in our first year, the department responded to 2,800 alarms. Fast forward to today. Scfd now has more than 575 personnel, 20 fire stations, with our 21st is going to open soon, and handles over 51,000 calls annually. We've earned an ISO rating of 1. Our ability, which is a top tier, shows our ability to respond and prevent fires, a distinction held by only 1% of the fire departments nationwide. This year, we achieved international accreditation through the Commission of Fire Accreditation International and maintained our CAS accreditation through the Commission of Accreditation of Ambulance Services for the 4th consecutive time. There's only 30 fire departments in the U.S. that hold these, and only 2 that hold all of them. These achievements were made possible by strong roots and visionary leaders. As I often say, we stand on shoulders of giants. One of those giants is former Fire Chief Terry Shank. Hired in the early days by Chief Kaiser, Chief Shank began his career at Station 22 in Castleberry, operating out of a rundown old house. Over the decades, his dedication laid the groundwork for long-term innovation and growth that we now benefit from. His efforts remind us that positive change takes time. Building consensus, changing directions, and creating long-lasting progress requires patience and perseverance. Chief Shank served 12 years as fire chief from 1993 to 2005, far exceeding the national average for how long a fire chief lasts. In our history, we've had just 6 fire chiefs. To me, this speaks volumes as we have fire chiefs committed and invested in long-term success for our department. Chief Shank's leadership and advocacy are unmatched. We would not have our fire training center today without him. He was instrumental in establishing the ambulance transport program in Scfd's Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 14. His dedication earned him the title of Fire Chief of the Year in 2003 by the Florida Fire Chiefs Association. Today, he continues to serve in the field of emergency services and resides in Oviedo with his wife, Susie, who I just learned today did the Richard Petty experience and went 135 miles an hour, which is fantastic. As a new recruit class, it is our duty to honor our department's history and foundation while embracing the change needed for innovation and growth. Remember that the fruits we enjoy today are the results of decades of hard work by those who came before us. And never take for granted the support we receive from our Board of County Commissioners, county management, and the community. For me, SCFD has always been part of my life. I was born just 10 months after our founding, and I've known Chief Shank my entire life. I think he's known me before I was even born. He gave me an opportunity when he hired me in 2001, a gift I will always be grateful for. I started my career here, and there's no other department I would rather serve. My hope is that you will feel the same way during your journey here. With that, I've given you some of the history, and Chief Shank is going to offer you some wisdom. Please welcome Fire Chief Terry Shank.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, class, and all your guests that are here with you. I think you already know this because of the time you've put in already, but you are entering into one of the best fire departments, not only in the state of Florida, but actually in the United States. So many things to be proud of in this organization. And our hope, there's retirees here, and being a retiree, our hope is that you'll carry on that tradition for years to come. I will tell you that I'm a little bit envious of you today because you got a great adventure ahead of you. A lot of my stuff's behind me, but you guys all, and gals have it all ahead of you, and that's very good. When asked to speak today, I thought, well, gosh, what can I tell you? What can I pass on to you? A whole lot of things came to mind, but today I'm going to go over just six suggestions for you. So number 6 is be positive, enthusiastic in your job. When Gary Kaiser, Chief Kinley mentioned him, hired me, he asked me, he said, what's your goal? And without blinking, I said, to have your job someday. So that is something that I hope that you seek to achieve. If you look at the attributes on that slide under positive thinking, you can see it has things like motivation, inspiration, confidence, gratitude, and happiness. I'm telling you right now, all that flows from being positive and being enthusiastic about your job. A while back, they came out with a book. I know you've heard of it. It's called A Complaint-Free World. And the book is trying to get people to not focus on the negative, but focus on the positive. And they gave you a purple band to put on your wrist, and you put that on there, and you tried to not say anything negative for as long as you could. And you might go an hour or 2 hours or maybe a day, and you got better at it maybe a couple days, but if you said something negative, you had to shift it over to your other wrist and start all over again. I did that. It's very, very hard to do. But in this sort of negative world that we live in, being positive makes all the difference. So I would encourage you, stay positive and stay enthusiastic. The next one is number 5, keep learning. Now this is a photo of you all out doing some training at our great training center. And I know you had a good time out there. You probably put in a lot of sweat and tears out there doing all your evolutions and whatnot. But you had an excellent facility to do that out of. But what I would ask you today is don't look at this as the end of your training. Look at it as the beginning of your training. You're just graduating to train. Chief Van Etten mentioned that just a few minutes ago. So take classes, go to college, pick up new skills as you go along. because time goes by very quickly. People say, well, why should I go to college? It takes all my time. Just take one class a semester. And time goes by so quickly that before you know it, you've got a credential, you've got that knowledge, and it helps you on down the road. This is my 54th year in emergency services, and I'm still going to classes. I'm still trying to learn. So I would encourage you to do that. Seeking knowledge should never end. Number 4, I marvel at how positively, I was talking with Chief Kinley about this before the start today, I marvel how this department is involved in so many positive things out in the community, so many programs. Doreen and Sharon and others are out there constantly coming up with new and innovative ways to serve this community, and the department just shines in this area. I mean, we sit back and watch, and it's just, it's a wonder to see how many things you do. So what I would say and ask you to do is add value to this department and add value to the community. So November 25th, 2024, St. John's River Bridge, it's 3 a.m., there's a multiple vehicle accident. Woman gets knocked into the water off that bridge, she's 50 feet down in the water, and ends up being found by a Seminole County Fire Department drone that is deployed. Lieutenant Matt Lawson ends up talking to local media. That story becomes a national story. The national media picked it up. And it's just, frankly, it's just very impressive that that occurred. Now, what I'm here to tell you is that somebody developed that drone. Somebody said, hey, this would be a good thing for us to have in our fire department. Somebody convinced other people in the department, hey, let's spend some money, and we get the support of the commissioners to buy these things and put them in place. Someone then had to go out and train on it. Somebody had to train other people on it, and more units got deployed. The rescue, again, made a nationwide story, and so you can see all along value was added to not only the department, but to the community. So my challenge to you today is you seek out ways from here forward on how to add value to the department and the community you serve. Number 3. That's a nice shot of a rocket going up from the Kennedy Space Center. And I've used this example a number of times. And what I want to tell you about this is pursue promotion. You're just starting out. You're kind of where the flash is down at the bottom there on the start of that rocket ship up. But what I'm encouraging you to do, that rocket, as it goes up, it reaches an arc, and then if it wants to go and do higher and greater things and go higher places, you got to have a booster kick in. Well, that booster is leadership and promotion. So you get this education I talked about, you seek that promotion, and it will allow you more personal growth and more service to others than you can even imagine. Years ago, I mentioned this, Chief Gary Kaiser asked me what that goal is, and again, I said, without blinking, someday I want to have your job. And I achieved that and was the only person in the department that ever started where you are as a firefighter, entry firefighter, and went all the way to the rank of chief of the department until recently. What is really cool is that your current chief, Matt Kinley, did even more than that, because Matt was a member of this department before he was a member of this department. And what I mean by that is he was a UCF intern. His dad came and said, hey, my son would like to, be an intern with the department. I love that. I love, young people coming in and helping them out. He came in and rewrote our policies. We had to rewrite all our policies and procedures. He did that one time in the summer, and then he joined the department, and here he is. He's gone all the way through all those ranks and is now chief and doing a spectacular job. So will this be you somewhere down the road? I would certainly hope so. So strive for that. Number 2, one of the best parts of this job is, and I hope you've already experienced this in the class that you're in, is the camaraderie. If you ask any retiree out here what they miss most from the job, all of us will probably say we miss those runs, we miss those, calls and the excitement of all that. But almost without exception, they will say, I miss the camaraderie. I miss, the relationship that we had, with the other folks in the department. So back in the 90s, a great movie, one of my favorite movies came out. It's called A League of Their Own. You can see the poster there on the right. You may have seen this, may not. You might recognize it from its iconic phrase from it, there's no crying in baseball. You remember that? Tom Hanks said that. Well, this movie starts out, and the whole thing is like a flashback. And what they do is it's a group of women who came together to replace the men who were overseas playing baseball. And that is not as important as this. They came together, they laughed together, they cried together, they had bad times together, they had good times together. But the real big thing is that they formed a bond. And I've told my kids and I've told other people, you are so fortunate in this life if you have a group of people that you've been part of and that you formed a bond with and done that. Very, very fortunate. Well, the fire service is that way. And again, they'll tell you, we sure miss the camaraderie. So the theme song from that movie, which is also very good, was done by Carole King. And the whole thing is, all the verses, all the lyrics in it are good, but there's one that particularly sticks out for you all today. And it's on the screen. It says, we are the lucky ones. Some people never get to do all we got to do. And you are the lucky ones. There's a lot of people who would love to be sitting where you are today, and there's a lot of people who would love to have had a career in this business. I mean, firefighters are right up high on the list on what, on groups of people that are admired in this country. So the next thing is, one last thing. So last night, just to show you how this can go on, this relationship you've developed in your class, I went to a Christmas dinner last night, and sat down and chatted with a firefighter at this firefighter dinner. He and I went through the class together 54 years ago and still had a bond between us. So strive to keep all the connections you've made in this class and all you've gone through. You'll be very glad you did. Next, I want to, we'll put up some quotes up on the screen. I know this is a busy slide, kind of difficult to read. But you can see the pride that the authors of those statements have in this department. I'll make it a little easier for you. We'll put the key words in red. So you see things up there like progress, hard work, professionalism. These are really good quotes about the department. They're written by who? Well, that would be you. So as you entered the department, you were asked why you joined this department, what brought you here. That's what you said about the department. I hope you still find that true, and I can tell you that we are so proud to have a group of people coming in, having that kind of insight to see what this department is and how you can be part of it. Finally, because I know you all want to graduate, you want to listen to me all day, you want to graduate. Here's a little group of them. Love God, love others, especially the family that are sitting around you right now and that are, hopefully up on that screen somewhere. The baby in the center there, I heard just a recent baby right in the middle there. Love others. This includes the brother and sister firefighters that you're going to be with out there in the station and the community. And I also would encourage you to respect yourself. And what I mean by that, let me get to that in a minute. So, love God. It's His world. Love your family because they're always there for you. My wife, Susie, of 44 years, is here. And I can tell you I would not have had the successful career I had without her. Thank you, dear. Love others. and this is the community you serve. It's going to be difficult sometimes. You're up in the middle of the night, you're changing a bedpan, and it's 3 in the morning, and, you just don't fit. But love them anyway. I mean, because they're looking to you. They take great pride in you and the people that are serving them. Finally, this respect yourself. I would encourage you to don't do stupid things. Make good decisions. I looked this up, and this number astounded me. It turns out that we all make about 35,000 decisions a day. That sounded like a lot to me, but I mean, you stop and think, did I look right? Did I look left? Did I smile? Did I move? Did I eat this? Did I touch that? And everything. 35,000 decisions a day. So that's where it starts. Try to make good decisions all the time. Don't dishonor yourself. Have integrity. Key in on that word, integrity. And remember number 6 from the start of this again, be positive and be enthusiastic. So that's it. I hope you and your family have a great Christmas. Again, it's been a great honor to come and speak with you today. And so go forth and do great things, Class 2402, because the retirees, the community, and all of us, we are counting on you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Fire Chief Matt Kinley and retired Fire Chief Terry Shank. Very good words of wisdom now and for, of course, the next 50 years. These last 9 weeks of training have taught and prepared our recruits for what is to come. The class was led by our Assistant Chief of Professional Standards and Training, Daniel Bowen, and our training lieutenants, Tracy McCaffrey, Joshua Marzoff, Kyle Hare, Kevin Yates, and Elgin Myers. Elgin Myers led physical training workouts and anything else we asked of him. Firefighter paramedic Jose Naluna served as a constant trainer and mentor and has the patience of a saint. Countless others helped in training. If you're on our training staff or helped in training our recruits, please stand to be recognized. Yep. Nice. All right, Dorian, get your squishy stress ball out. I'm going rogue. So at the training center, we can make people go in at any time, right? So when someone leaves, basically the junior guy goes in. There's nothing really they can say about it. It's just they're there for 2 years. I would like to point out, though, that none of these guys were forced to be in training. Every one of them volunteered to be in training, myself included. That takes a little bit extra that we kind of need to mold the guys and girls that are out here to be the recruits we want. And just like everybody kind of says, though, if you have that vested interest, you have that pride and ownership to be there and do it, you're putting your stamp on the latest recruits. So I really do appreciate all of their time and efforts. I think they've done an amazing job, and I really appreciate that they are nice and respectful to me, and then I'll certainly respect them forever for what they've done. So thank you guys very much for that. Yeah. You too, Jackie. All right, enough about how humble we are at the training center. Now, let's take a brief look back at the last 9 weeks, and you will see it's not an easy process. There's no air conditioning and fires, so we train for it.
Good. So now try to move your divider.
Back to fire. I'm trying to get to you.
I wish you guys could have seen Sweeting rappel the whole way down. It was awesome. It was glorious. All right, after 9 weeks of training, we now transition you from the training division to probationary firefighters. This is signified by the helmet and shield. At this time, I'd like to call up to the stage our Fire Chief Matt Kinley, along with A Shift Assistant Chief Jolene Joyce, B Shift Assistant Chief Joel Herrera, and C Shift Assistant Chief Jason Prather, who is represented by Battalion Chief Dave Grant. They will officially present Class 2402 with their helmets and shields. At this time, A and B shifts, please wait by the stage to be called up. For A shift, Aaron Cabral. Joshua Kraft. All right. Yes. Congratulations to our A shift duo, and you're the first shift starting Sunday, so rest up. C shift members, stand by the stage. All right. B shift personnel are Mario Ciancolini, Manuel DeClet, Dylan Everett. Casey Hansen. Alexander Picton. And Corey Williams. All right, congratulations, B-Shifters. All right, and our C-Shift personnel are Kenneth Bazinas. Brandon Frosch. Alexander Kober. Kaylee Mackey. Yeah. Desmond Murray. Eric Seidelman. Quintoro Sweeting. and Timothy Terrell. Congratulations, Sea Shifters and 2402. Your time from recruitment now comes to an end. Now, Assistant Chief of Professional Standards and Training, Daniel Bowen, will lead the class as they take the fire oath and then participate in the pinning ceremony. Chief Bowen.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? They told me I was too quiet, so I'm going to try to talk louder. All right, good afternoon. There is a rich history reflected in our badge and the pinning ceremony. This signifies the introduction of these personnel to their new duties and responsibilities. Additionally, it is a demonstration to welcome them to the fire department and their future, one which is dedicated to a life of service. After they take their oath, a designee will come up and stand next to them in front of the stage. We have 5 recruits who will be pinned by a family member who currently serves or has served in a fire department, law enforcement agency, or in the U.S. military. It is a long-standing tradition in the fire service for those to be pinned by individuals who are also committed to a life of service, whether it be public safety or as members of the U.S. military. These 5 members with family or mentors who are being pinned today are recruit Brandon Frosch, will be pinned by his father, Andrew Frosch, retired division chief from the City of Hialeah Fire Department and retired engineer from the City of Key Biscayne Fire Rescue. Recruit Desmond Murray will be pinned by his father, Darren Murray, retired battalion chief of Brevard County Fire Rescue. He retired after 30 years of fire service, an admirable career in the public safety. Recruit Kaylee Mackey will be pinned by her father, Javier Mackey, retired U.S. Army Sergeant, First Class Special Forces. Recruit Alexander Picton will be pinned by his father, Richard Picton, retired Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Marine Corps. And finally, recruit Quintoro Sweeting will be pinned by his mentor, Jermaine Frazier, who serves as an assistant chief with the Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue Department. Quintoro was part of the Explorer program for Fort Lauderdale Fire, and Chief Frazier runs that program. This is This is a monumental achievement. I expect your rigor and enthusiasm in now taking the oath to be reflective of this occasion. Recruits, please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida, against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as firefighter of the Seminole County Fire Department. Under the appointment of the department according to the laws of the state of Florida. To the best of my skills and abilities. So help me God. All right, recruits, please take your place for the pinning ceremony. Okay, now we would like to invite those designated family members, friends, or mentors to come forward and stand with your graduating recruit at the front of the stage to officially pin them. At this time, we will now officially pin the badge on the Seminole County Fire Department's newest firefighters. When done, please remain with them at the front of the stage. All right, friends, families, and esteemed guests, will you please stand? We would like to officially introduce to you the newest members of the Seminole County Fire Department, probationary firefighter class 2402. All right, for those who have pinned the graduates, you may now take your seats, please. And you may sit. I'm sorry. All right, probationary firefighters, please take your seats. Thank you. And now Fire Chief Kinley will now make a special presentation.
Congratulations, graduates. Almost done to perfection. I am a little jealous because when I got hired, it was basically a swift kick in the butt and get on the truck and get to work. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt thanks to retired Scfd chaplain Chris Whaley and wish him well in his semi-retirement. I don't think he'll ever retire. Chaplain Whaley faithfully served our department for over 15 years, providing unwavering guidance and support since 2007. Chaplain Whaley is a graduate of Palm Beach Atlantic University, and in 1988 furthered his studies in theology at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. That's a lot of words. Over the years, he has served churches in Lake Wales and in Beverly Hills, Florida, and in 2000, he became the senior pastor at First Baptist Church in Longwood. Today, he continues to serve as the legacy adult pastor at First Baptist Church of Orlando. Our first responders face tremendous challenges. They often carry the weight of responding to others on the worst day of their lives. which is a heavy burden, both emotionally and mentally. To ensure their well-being, our department provides resources to help them process these experiences in a healthy way. Chaplain Whaley has been a cornerstone in this effort, working closely with our peer support team and other initiatives to support our personnel. Now, here's a fun fact. Some of you know, I know, Chaplain Whaley once competed as a professional wrestler under the in-ring name, The Saint. Don't laugh, he can put you in a wrist lock and hurt you. He's wrestled alongside legends like The Undertaker, for those of you who know wrestling, and Ric Flair, who happens to be my favorite, woo, and is also a published author. If you haven't already, I encourage you to check out his inspiring Netflix documentary, The Masked Saint. It is really good. Chaplain Whaley's contributions to the men and women of the Seminole County Fire Department cannot be overstated. Through both the best and most difficult times, he has been a constant source of support, whether presiding over a marriage ceremony or offering comfort during the heartbreaking loss of one of our own. He has always been our rock. At this time, I'd like to invite Chaplain Whaley to come forward to receive his Scfd retirement badge and box. Please join me in thanking him for his many years of faithful service and dedication to the Seminole County Fire Department and our community.
It's kind of dangerous allowing a Baptist minister time to say something, but.
Just don't get me in trouble with Dory.
Oh, okay. In 2007, Lieutenant Elisa Keys came up to me after a service and said, I put your name in as a possible chaplain for Seminole County Fire Department, but I didn't know what that meant. Later that week, Todd Gaddy came to my office and we talked about being a chaplain. And he asked me what I would do as a chaplain. So we talked about that. I said, I guess I would visit the stations, make myself available, and learn on the job. So I began my 15 years as chaplain, and I was the only chaplain for 14 of those years. Some of the greatest help to me as a chaplain was riding with Chief Bob Hitchcock, who was battalion chief for A Shift, Battalion 1. I married some of you. I did several funerals over the years, which was some of the most difficult things that I did. I laughed with you. When I first started, A Shift, Station 12, invited me for meatloaf. And they had this unbelievable way of fashioning meatloaf into various body parts, which I won't say anything about. But it was really something. It really was. I drove thousands and thousands of miles visiting your stations, and I did the best that I could to serve you. It was the highlight of my week when I visited stations. As Chief said, I was a professional wrestler for 4 years, wrestled 4 world champions. First book was made into an award-winning movie. I've been a pastor for over 40 years, but I just want you to know that the 15 of the greatest years of my life were the 15 years that I served you as chaplain. The greatest thing that ever happened to me was inviting the Lord Jesus Christ into my heart and in my life. He is the one who gave me the heart to serve you. I want to thank my wife for almost 50 years for encouraging me to serve you, and she gave up her time with me so that I could serve you, and I thank her for that. In the words of Elizabeth Taylor to her 9th husband, I won't take up much of your time, and I won't keep you long. So thank you, Chief Kinley. Thank you so much. Thank you, Seminole County Fire Department, for the honor of serving you. God bless you.
All right, thank you, Chief Kinley and Chief Bowen, and our heartfelt gratitude for Chaplain Whaley for his services. Thank you again, sir. Just before we conclude, I would like to thank SGTV and Norm Rayburn for capturing some excellent videos and photos of our training. And thank you again to Cross Life Church for providing us the use of your wonderful facility as well as the audio and visual support. Feel free to stay afterwards as we have our professional photographer who is available for free to take photos of you and your loved ones. Our apparatuses are out in front as well. Your graduate will get a link to the photos. And although this graduation ceremony hasn't been live streamed, they don't really trust me yet, it has been recorded and we will send you a link to the graduates. We are also selling 50th anniversary t-shirts, and proceeds benefit our annual awards program. Congratulations again to our new firefighters. Take care of your brothers and sisters in the fire department, and as you are now part of our family. Stay safe, and thank you for dedicating your career to a life of public service. Thank you, guys.